Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why is this happening to me? Maybe you've been knocked down so many times that getting back up feels impossible. Maybe you've been carrying pain that no one else can see. Every day feels like another battle. Every setback feels like another wave pulling you under. Maybe you've been knocked down so many times that getting back up feels impossible. Maybe you've been carrying pain that no one else can see. Every day feels like another battle. Every setback feels like another wave pulling you under. But what if everything you're going through isn't the end of your story? What if the storm you're fighting today is preparing you for a life you never imagined? Think about it. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. Trees grow stronger because they face the wind. And people? We discover who we truly are when life tests us the most. The storm wasn't sent to destroy you. It came to reveal the strength you didn't know you had. Right now, you may feel exhausted. You may feel like giving up. You may believe that no one understands your struggle, but listen carefully. Your pain has a purpose. Every challenge you're facing is shaping your character, building your resilience, and preparing you for opportunities that only someone with your strength can handle. Don't judge your future by today's circumstances. Some of the greatest victories begin in the darkest moments. So before you give up, before you believe that your story is over, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll see your storm differently. You'll understand why your greatest struggles can become your greatest source of strength. This storm is not your ending. It's the beginning of the strongest version of yourself. There is a moment in every life, maybe you've already had yours, or perhaps it is rushing towards you like a freight train in the dark when the sky falls in. It is the moment when the ground beneath your feet ceases to be solid. It might be a diagnosis. It might be a pink slip. It might be a betrayal or the silence of a phone that used to ring. We call these moments storms, and they are the great equalizers. Money, status, and education cannot buy a ticket out of the rain. When we hear the phrase, finding strength in the storm, our first instinct is often to reject it. We think, I don't want strength, I want the storm to stop. And that is a legitimate human feeling. It is the cry of the child inside us that just wants things to be okay again. But the motivation behind this phrase does not ask you to deny that pain. It asks you to recognize that the storm is the only place where true strength is forged. Consider the work of a blacksmith. He takes a piece of iron, cold, hard, unyielding, but ultimately brittle. He does not leave it in the sun to warm it. He does not place it in a gentle breeze. He thrusts it directly into the heart of the fire. And then, he does not pat it. He does not whisper to it softly. He strikes it. He strikes it with immense, heavy force, over and over. The storm is the fire and the hammer. It is not the enemy of the metal, it is the maker of the blade. The motivation for seeking strength in the storm is the realization that you are the metal, and the storm is not here to destroy you, but to shape you into something that can hold an edge. The pain is the fire, and the pressure is the hammer. To find strength in the storm is to stop resisting the shaping. Why do we run from the storm? We run because it terrifies us. But the deeper motivation to stay and find strength within it lies in an archaeological truth. When a forest fire rips through the woods, it looks like an apocalypse. Yet ecologists will tell you that for certain trees, like the sequoia, the heat of the fire is actually necessary for their cones to open and release their seeds. Without the fire, the seeds remain locked away, buried in the past. The fire does not destroy the future, it releases it. The storm in your life is a similar fire. It burns away the scaffolding of your life, the props you thought you needed. It burns away the comfortable lies you told yourself. It strips away your ego, your career titles, and your superficial relationships. It leaves you standing in the rubble, not as a victim, but as an archaeologist. The motivation to find strength here is the motivation to find yourself. You see, during calm times, we are surface-level creatures. We deal with surface-level problems. But when the storm hits, it pushes you deep, deep down into the water. And in that depth, you discover the hidden architecture of your soul. You discover that your capacity for patience is larger than you thought. You discover that your ability to endure is almost infinite. The storm is a brutal, ruthless psychologist. It holds a mirror up to you and forces you to look. It forces you to ask, who am I when I have nothing left to lose? Who am I when the applause has stopped and the lights have gone out? Finding strength in the storm is the act of answering that question not with fear, but with defiance. It is the refusal to let the storm define you and instead using the storm to uncover you. We need to talk about grit. Because finding strength doesn't mean feeling strong. This is perhaps the most important part of the motivation. If you are waiting to feel strong in order to get through the storm, you will wait forever. Strength is rarely a feeling. It is a decision. Think of the oyster. The storm for the oyster is the intrusion of a single, sharp, irritating grain of sand. It cuts into its soft flesh. It is a nuisance, a source of constant friction and pain. The oyster doesn't have a therapist. It can't leave the ocean. Its only choice is how to deal with the irritant. It doesn't just tolerate it. It decides to envelop it. It secretes layer after layer of nacre, of beauty, around that sharp point. Over time, that which was a source of pain becomes a pearl, a thing of value that is traded and admired. The motivation to find strength in the storm is the motivation to create your pearl. It is the understanding that you are not here to just survive the sand in your shell, but to transform it. Every time you face a crisis, you are adding a layer to your character. You are adding wisdom, compassion, and resilience. However, the process is slow. It is the 20 minutes of the talk, so to speak, a lengthy process. The temptation in the middle of the storm is to look for a quick exit. But the motivation for staying the course lies in the truth that there are some things that can only be built in a hurricane. If you try to build a skyscraper in a calm field, it will look nice, but it will be weak. It hasn't been tested. But a tree that grows on a windswept cliff grows deep roots. The wind doesn't just blow it over. The wind compels the roots to go deeper, to grip the rock tighter. The storm is the wind that forces you to grow your roots deep into the earth of your own spirit. We must address a difficult question now. Is the storm God's will, or is it just chaos? Does the storm happen for us or to us? I believe the answer is less important than the response. The motivation behind finding strength in the storm is not about fatalism. It is not about curling up and accepting defeat. It is about activism. It is about agency. When you are in the middle of the storm, you feel powerless. You feel like a leaf in the wind. But finding strength is the act of grabbing the steering wheel of your own spirit. It is the decision to say, I cannot stop the wind, but I can adjust my sails. This is the ultimate motivation, the fear of the unlived life. Imagine you are at the end of your life. You look back. You will not regret the storms that came. The only regret you will have is if you let the storm break you, if you let it turn you into a bitter, cynical person. The tragedy of life is not pain. The tragedy is wasted pain. The storm offers you the raw material of greatness. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived the ultimate storm of the Holocaust, wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." That is the imperative. The motivation to find strength is the motivation to change yourself in the face of an unchangeable world. It is the realization that while the storm may destroy your house, it does not have to destroy your home, the home that lives within your heart. You are not here to wait for the rainbow. You are here to learn to dance in the rain, not frivolously, but with intention and grit. The motivation is the burning desire to emerge from the rain, not just dry, but reborn. To look the storm in the eye and say, "You have tested me, you have hurt me, but you have not defined me. I am the one who defines the outcome." So you are in the storm right now. Perhaps it is roaring around you, drowning out the noise of your normal life. I want you to understand that your motivation to find strength does not need to be heroic. It doesn't need to look like a movie. It looks like getting up in the morning when you don't want to. It looks like making tea for your loved one. It looks like one more step when you are exhausted. It looks like breathing in and out, one moment at a time. The motivation here is the promise that this moment is not the final word. The strength you are looking for is not a destination. It is the journey itself. It is the call of the deep. It is the whisper of your ancestors, the survivors who survived worse. It is the cry of your future self, who is looking back at you right now and saying, "Don't give up. I need you to get through this so I can be who I am." When the storm is over, and it will be eventually, you won't look back and say, "Well, that was an interesting technical difficulty." You will look back and marvel at the person who endured it. You will look back and realize that the storm was the greatest teacher you ever had. Because the lightning didn't destroy the mountain. The lightning carved the canyon. The motivation to find strength in the storm is the motivation to become a canyon, deep enough to hold the water of life and wide enough to let others find shelter. It is the motivation to be a lighthouse, built on the rocks that the storm tried to destroy so that you might shine a light for others still lost at sea. You are not just surviving, you are being built. And that is the greatest motivation of all. Thank you. If this message inspired you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. I'll see you in the next video.